All right, as lawmakers start setting budgets, they have to agree on one major component: state worker pay. We got together with some people this week to talk about the challenges facing state agencies after a few years with no pay increases.
Different pollutants, different sources, major sources, smaller sources. You know, it's all one big airshed, and everything you put into it has some effect. The job title is airshed coordinator. I wear a lot of hats. I got my fingers in a lot of different things. I was primarily monitoring for a long time. I still do monitoring. I also now work with the daily forecast that we send out. I'm the primary contact for all open burning, as well as the crop residue disposal program, the burning of ag fields. We work with schools, work with the public, getting information out, answering questions, help any way we can. So it just kind of depends on the day, what I do or what we do as a program. We do experience quite a bit of turnover. I've been at DEQ in the Boise Regional Office for about 10 years, and I've gone through, for my direct supervisor, I've had 7 different supervisors in that 10 years.
After 4 lean years without a single general pay increase for state workers, the DEQ is not alone.
We're seeing a turnover rate that's fairly significant. It's as high as 52% in some areas of the state.
An annual state salary study shows that, on average, state government workers make about 83% of what the market pays for their jobs. The average annual turnover rate is around 12%. But for some positions, those numbers are way more out of whack.
When you look at our maintenance staff, that we have 55% that could be eligible for food stamps, and our maintenance apprentice, 98% of those employees. So that shows where our wages are right now.
If you can make more money somewhere else, doing something that you really like doing, it's definitely an opportunity you should look at. We've had people move out of state to different agencies, and then a lot of people have moved on to private industry. I really enjoy my job. I love the people I work with. I think we're doing a very important thing for a lot of people, but I don't want to limit myself, and you always want to look and see what else is out there. And, I'm not going to pretend that, a financial raise wouldn't be a really good thing,
Those are really difficult conversations to have, because they'll use examples of trying to make ends meet, and we have 3 or 4 kids, and my wife had a job, she might have lost hers, or she has to stay home, take care of the kids, and I'm eligible for food stamps, and here I am out working a full-time job, doing the best I can, and then I have to stand in line to get food stamps. It's kind of a tough story. And I've heard that very consistently, is they'll come and say, I really wish I could stay, but I need the money. I can't afford to stay here any longer. So there's no doubt they enjoy their job, they like what they're doing, they want to stay here, they just can't, or feel that they can no longer stay here.
And turnover at these rates can quickly get expensive.
We're paying to train and to recruit and to get them licensed, and then once they have all that training, then they go off for higher paying jobs in other sectors in the economy.
It is somewhat of a training ground, and then once you receive that training, we do see a lot of people leave, and we'll generate.
If you think about that we're paying to recruit employees, you pay to interview them, you pay for the hiring process, then you pay to train them and get them certified. And then if they leave within that first 5 years, there's a tremendous cost to ITD then to go back and re-recruit and retrain and rehire employees.
Once you have developed a skill set and you are in demand somewhat, you can make a much better financial living.
These jobs are all getting to be far more technical than you may imagine.
And those are operators where we're asking them to operate a very sophisticated piece of equipment. It's about a $250,000 piece of equipment with the snowplows, and in the old days you'd have the levers and things, you could put the blades down, and intuitively you kind of knew what to do. If you pushed the lever forward, the blade would come down. If you pulled back, the snowplow blade would come up. If you turned on this knob, the spinner would spread the salt. Well, the last time I got into one of these rigs, I couldn't believe it. There's a computer screen and a joystick. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I don't even want to try and run one of these. So you can imagine, with that kind of equipment and that kind of training required, if we're losing those employees at a rate of 50%, and they're doing that in the first 5 years, you can imagine how little experience we sometimes have on the road.
But Idaho workers like Mike have seen the rest of the state's economy struggle too.
You do feel frustrated. with the understanding that there's a lot of reasons why those things happen. So you can't just think, oh, they hate us, they don't want to give us money. And for me, maybe it's not the primary reason you hold a position, but it's an important part. You need to make a living. If you have a family, you need to be able to provide and things like that. And the flexibility with my family that I'm provided with this job is invaluable to me. I get to spend quality time with my family and my kids.
The Legislative Budget Committee has been hashing out its plan for 2013, and at the moment, that plan includes a 2% across-the-board pay increase for state workers.